Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So, welcome to Podcast Meditations, and we're here with the Way of the Superior Man, sharing the best lessons moving forward. So, in this episode, let me just share my screen so you guys on video can also follow along. I'm going to put this on full screen and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it more clearly. Don't worry, I got you guys. Okay, looks good. Adjusting that. Let me just take this out. There we go. Much more clear. So, the first line, the first best lesson of The Way of the Superior Man, this episode. You must end your involvement impeccably. However, making sure there are no loose ends and that you do not burden anybody's life by stopping your involvement. I love this line. So, in The Way of the Superior Man, this shares wisdom, really good lessons on relationships. And what I love about this line is I totally resonate with this. So, uh, not maybe not a perfectionist, I would say. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'll admit that. But I totally resonate with this because I love doing things properly. And even when I stop my involvement with my work or anything, anyone, in work or business, they call that turnover, right? As much as possible. I want to tie loose ends. I want to end things clean or properly as much as possible. Now, sometimes those on the opposite end, or if you know other people who are the opposite, it drives me nuts when there's no closure or there is no proper like end to something. And as someone who has experienced that, maybe you have too, you could relate. Comment hashtag relate down below, people watching the live or the replay, and you know what that experience is like. So on the other side, when you do have a very good uh tying up of loose ends, right? The opposite of a burden feels like heaven, feels like peace. So let's flow to the next line over here. This might take some time, but it is important that this layer of your purpose ends cleanly and does not create any new karma or obligation that will burden you or others in the future. So I love this because this one explains it a little more deeply now that when we don't end our purpose, our work, our relationship, whatever that was, right? It actually creates new karma. Now, without getting too deep into this, all that is cause and effect, right? So, people in work or business, we feel that. So, if something does not end cleanly or properly, it will create new problems moving forward. And I totally believe that, whether it's with myself or with that other person. So, that will burden you or others in the future. I totally believe that 100% from personal experience and witnessing it in the experiences of others. Also, the ripple effect that I may have caused others in their life. So, flowing to the next best lesson here. This one is when we do things properly, and it also relates to our purpose. So, this line goes, it feels as if the universe is supporting you in this direction. You have no idea whether you can earn a living doing this, but it feels right for now. You give your gift 100% without holding anything back. So, this is why I'm doing these podcasts, right? As much as possible, I'm not putting any call to actions, ads, any extra stuff here because I just want to give 100% in these podcast meditations. Now, flowing down, let's make this a little practical. Next line says, soon a wealthy man finds out about what you are doing. He becomes your patron. Now you are set. You have a good income. You are doing what you really want to do, and you are helping others. You love what you do, so you generate love in those who come in contact with you. Your life feels full. Now, if some of you feel or are doubting this line and think, is this realistic? Like, is this, too spiritually detached or unrealistic, right? So, I actually was reading a book recently. So, this is called Ikigai, and it's a Japanese concept. So, it's what this is saying. It's when what you love aligns with what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. So, this line, I believe, is actually more realistic than what many people may think or feel. Because at first, I would be very skeptical of this line. So, just sharing that out there, and I'm hopeful. I like it. I'm hopeful of this. So let's flow down to the last line over here. And then, one day, a few years later, it is finished, and the cycle begins again and again. Then you act fully until that purpose too is dissolved. So perfect, because we're ending this session just right now. So back to me. So that was today's episode of The Way of the Superior Man, Best Lessons. So thank you. I love you, and I will see you next time. Thank you also for for those watching the live. So shout out, just posting you up here. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and good rainy morning this December. Thank you. I love you, and I will see you next time.